Right. Good day. Good day. How's everybody doing? Who's here? Just Voy? Only Voy chatting. Interesting. Right, sorry about this. I'm playing around with a couple of different things and I'm trying to use OBS. But can you hear me? Hey Brian, how you doing? Just give me a thumbs up. You can hear me, okay? Cool. Right. That's what it's going to do. Bit more light. There we go. That's better. Right. So, what did I call this? Oh yeah. They're still trying to push this bovine excrement. Bovine excrement, man. Boo! It's boo! Anyway, I couldn't believe it. Bloody light, man. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. But then again, I suppose I can. What else do we expect? But I saw Chris Thrall talked about it. And I thought, yeah, I want to. There's not many people on live at the moment, so I'm going to go on and see if we can get some people up to talk about this shit. Do you like my backdrop, Voy? It's the green screen isn't working very well on StreamYard, so I thought I'd use OBS, use the virtual camera, but use the microphone in StreamYard. Sergeant Bonbon, how you doing? So, share screen. What's it called? I can't find the bloody screen now. There it is. Biden signs declaration to build on the success of the jib-jab passports. President Joe Biden President Joe Biden agreed to build on the success of global vaccine passports in a joint communique signed by a group of 20 leaders in Bali, Indonesia on Wednesday. Biden met with the world leaders at a global summit from November 15th to November 16th to propose high-level policy solutions for economic problems facing countries around the world, including climate change and the prospect of recurring global pandemics. The forum culminated in the G20 Bali leaders' declaration that supported international vaccine technology sharing. International vaccine technology. What's technical about a needle? What's technical about a fucking needle with liquid being injected? That's not technical. It's why does it need technology? What that says to me is that there's technology in the jibber-jab. And we hear all this shit about graphene and nanobots and smart dust and that and that. Well, they're pretty much outright saying it there, aren't they? These are no longer what you used to think was a jibber-jab. Yeah, we changed the definition of that now. It's different now. Now, we don't use the word inoculation. That's what it used to be. The word used to be inoculations. You have your inoculations. Supported international vaccine technology sharing and the institution of trusted global digital health networks in an effort to improve future pandemic response. We acknowledge the importance of shared technical standards and verification. I can't do it, Joe Biden. Methods under the framework of International Health Regulations 2005 to facilitate seamless international travel, interoperability, and recognizing digital solutions and non-digital solutions, including proof of jibber-jabs. G20 leaders said in the declaration. Related, lead by example. Biden pledges billions in spending abroad, but more regulations on US drilling. I love how he keeps just pledging taxpayer money. Every time one of these fucking politicians pledges anything, they're pledging our trust. They're pledging our money. And okay, not my money at the moment. I'm not paying any taxes at the moment. But I paid my fair share. And when I'm able to work again, I'm going to have to pay them again. And I will. But I'm speaking of the royal we, the people. They're pledging the people's money. And they're presenting themselves as us as well, as the people, It's really, really, really pissing me off that we are being represented in each country. Each country is being represented by psychopathic babies, adolescent children. They're about emotionally intelligent as a brick. And dude, can you stop? Can you just fucking go and lay down? Just go and lay down. He won't let me cut his nails, and all I can hear is tip, 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 tip. He's walking around the floor everywhere constantly. Won't stay still and won't let me cut his nails. It's driving me insane. Anyway, we're being represented by, and then they say, and on the news, it's Russia did this, and the UK did that, and Europe did this, and America, the US does that. No, fuck off, no. The people of these countries aren't doing shit. They're getting shat on. The people within these countries, the civilians, the men and women that pay the taxes, that pay the fucking government and pay all the bills that they run up, they're not the ones doing this. It's a bunch of pathological fucking retards that have got personality disorders. They register highest on sociopathy, psychopathy. They're incredibly socially inept. They're not strong leaders. They're pathetic little men. Pathetic. Justin fucking Trudeau. Did you see that? Did you see what Xi Jinping, whatever his fucking name is, what the Chinese guy humiliated him, put him right there, humiliated him on the spot. I swear to God, you could see the piss running down the inside of his fucking leg when he was stood there. Incredibly embarrassed. He couldn't get out of there quick enough. You see that? By himself. No entourage with it. By himself, completely on his own. He's Forrest Gumps it out of the room because he's been so fucking humiliated in front of everybody because he's a pathetic little man. Absolutely disgustingly pathetic. And yet, every time he speaks, they report it that it's Canada doing it. It's Canada making these decisions. The World Health Organization's IHR mandate, which came into force in 2007, requires countries to strengthen health documentation at border crossings and introduce the concept of international vaccine certificates. You know what you could do with your fucking certificate? Roll it up nice and tight, get some Vaseline, and I'll help you insert it. We support continued international dialogue and the collaboration on the establishment of trusted global digital health networks as part of the efforts to strengthen prevention and response to future pandemics. This should capitalize on the build on the success of existing standards and digital certificates. The joint declaration reads, "Fuck off, you bunch of fucking..." Oy. The US government's response to the COVID-19 virus, which swept across the globe over the course of 2 years, sparked fears the government would introduce the jibber-jab requirements at state and international border crossings. The Biden administration shut down rumors that the White House would order federal jibber-jabs in May 2021. The government is not now, or nor will we be pursuing a system that requires Americans to carry a credential, former press secretary Jen talks out of her fucking ass, Saki said. There will be no federal vaccinations database, no federal mandate requiring everybody to obtain a single jib-jab credential. While private and non-profit organizations could consider requiring patrons to present proof of jib-jab to receive services, the federal government should steer away from requiring jib-jab for airline travel and other cross-border activities. However, the G20's recent declaration, which summit host Indonesian President Joko Widodo insisted be unanimous, appeared to support international jib-jab mandates. The European Union introduced jib-jab passport on the EU digital certificate. The intra-EU travel for intra-EU travel in 2021, and some countries still mandate full jib-jab prior to entry. The White House did not immediately respond to the Daily Caller's News Foundation's request for comment. No, Joe had to go and get an ice cream and then have a little nap. Right? This G20 lot. This G20 lot. How do you feel about this bunch of psychopaths and sociopaths, pure criminals, absolute pure fucking criminals, the worst of the worst examples of living men and women? They're morally bankrupt. They have zero integrity. They have personality disorders. They behave like juvenile delinquent teenagers in everything they do. I've heard about what it's like in Parliament and in government. It's like being in high school, apparently. It is actually like being in high school. The way they act around each other, the way they have their little cliques that, oh, I'm not speaking to him, I'm not speaking to her, oh, you gossiping, spreading shit, rubbing backs, scratching backs, sucking dicks, bending over. What I said last November about, I realized last November that actually the child is still within all of us. Really is. It might be absolutely pushed down into, right down into the back recesses of your being. You might completely deny that child, but the child is still there. These individuals they're writing laws. They're running countries. They're spending our inheritance. It's our inheritance. We are the beneficiaries of everything in this realm. Everybody is a beneficiary. Everybody. It's just you've got these men and women that think they're so far superior to everybody else that we're all idiots who shouldn't have any control of any of the wealth. They're gonna look after it all for us. With this bunch of like G20 and B20. Have you heard of B20? The billionaires and trillionaires. So G20 is all the biggest countries, the world leaders. B20 is all the billionaires and trillionaires. And The Bilderberg Group is billionaires, trillionaires, and global leaders. I'm just going to jump into the comments. Oh, actually, that's what I forgot to do. Hang on a sec. I meant to do this. Sorry, bear with me. Add existing. Oh. Background. Is it much smaller than that? Sorry, you'll see what I'm doing in a minute. Just need to get the chat out. No. That's that one. I know I should have done all this before. Dish. There we go. Right. Here we go. So, time to get some people in, isn't it? Who's going to join me? Sergeant Bun Bun. Why don't you come and join me, man? Come and join me. tell you what. What do you think about coming and joining me? Somebody. I've got, I'll put a video on quick.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me, you can decide to turn your face away. No matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, there's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. The more you refuse to hear my voice, the louder I will sing. You hide behind walls of Jericho, our lies will come tumbling. Deny my place and time, you squander wealth that's mine. My light will shine so brightly it will blind you, 'cause there's something inside so strong, so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, there's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Brothers and sisters, when they insist we're just not good enough, but we know better. Just look them in the eyes and say, we're gonna do it anyway. Gonna do it anyway. Something inside so strong, and I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, there's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Old man, turned 98. He won the lottery, and then he died the next day. And there's a black fly in your Chardonnay. It's a death row pardon, 2 minutes too late. And isn't it ironic, don't you think? It's like rain on a wedding date. It's a free ride. We've already paid. It's a goodbye.
suitcase and kissed his kids goodbye. Waited his whole damn life to take that flight. And as a plane crashed down, he thought, well, isn't this nice? And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain on a wedding date. It's a free ride when you already paid. It's a good advice, but you just didn't take. And who would have thought that beggars life's a funny way, sneaking up on you when you think everything's okay and everything's going right. Hey, yeah, well, life's a funny, funny way. Well, when you think everything's gone wrong and everything blows up in your face. The traffic jam when you're running late. No smoking sign on your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's me to the man of your dreams, than me and his beautiful wife. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? A little too ironic. Yeah, I really do think it's like rain on a wedding date. It's a free ride. Oh, we've already paid. It's a good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought that beggars? Hey, yeah, well, it's a funny way of sneaking up on you. Life's a funny, funny way helping you out, helping you out. There you go, a little acoustic version of Ironic.
Ashton to change his name out of respect for the Queen and for the character.
I'll tell you what, my computer is fucking taking the piss. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Come on, seriously, is nobody going to come on and fucking talk to me? Fabio, why don't you come on and chat with me? Angel Wings. Iffy Nation. Somebody come and talk to me.
let yourself go. Everybody knows. Everybody hurts. Sometimes everything's wrong. Now it's time the day is time to go. Feel like letting go.
There's nothing like fucking technology. I'll tell you what. Piss off with the bloody virtual cam. I'm going to have to go back to... 1 second, Eugene. Oh, hang on. Just trying to get my camera back.
For sure, man.
OBS quit unexpectedly. Did it? Right. Okay. Thanks. Oh, we got Fabio as well. Right. Hang on, boys. I'll bring you both in. Hang on. How are you doing? 1 sec. Let me just sort my bloody camera out. Do you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Eugene. I'm in Colorado, and I don't know. I think I'm on like a 1 minute delay, but
I don't know if it's 1 minute. It seemed you seemed all right then. I'd like, oh, Jesus, I can't get my camera to work at all. So you're in Colorado?
Yeah, I'm here in Brazil. My name is Fabio.
Fabio, hi man. Good to see you. Let me
So English is not my native language, but I get by, all right?
You're doing all right. It sounds to me, mate. It sounds like you're pretty fluent. You can understand. It's you know, you can obviously understand.
I am in Colorado.
There might be some expression that's might not be able to express yourself fully, you know, but that's cool. Still battling with this camera.
Yeah, your sound is really low.
Right, there we go. So, how's life where you are, man? Colorado, that's a blue state, isn't it? Yeah, you got a big delay there. You got a big delay. Fabio, what's it like where you are in Brazil?
Well, it's kind of it's pretty crazy here.
Yeah.
So with the upcoming reset and all the political issues, so things are they're getting worse, you know?
Yeah, with the with what happened with Bolsonaro and Lula, I haven't heard anything more about that, but I know that a lot of people weren't happy. It didn't. It looks like the globalists got what they wanted, not the people. So,
Yeah, that's true. So there's lots of protests, and the prices are rising a lot, you know. So normal daily life is like it's getting more and more strange. But on top of that, there's this like spiritual battle going on, you know, and the people here are really unaware. I wouldn't say stupid, but they're really unaware, you know, so they just follow this flow of negativity, and it's really difficult, you know.
It's if it's in the air, if that panic and anxiety and the ominousness of everything being so uncertain at the moment, if that, you know, when that's in the air, we all have different like varying levels of empathic ability, you know. We're all empaths. It's I don't think well, not obviously, maybe not psychopaths, pathologicals, and you know, people with personality disorders and stuff, but I think they still are. I think that's part of it. It's we pick up other people's emotions, and some of us are aware of it and some of us aren't, and those of us that aren't aware of it, it's very confusing.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, if you're like I've this year I've started to notice that although I've got crap going on in my life, life isn't good. You know, it's not fantastic. It could be much better. But nothing has changed. You know, it's been the same all year. It's been the same. There's been no really big fundamental changes. And yet I've woken up some mornings with this anxiety that's like as if something changed, as if something has changed. And I'm like, well, what's going to happen? And I'm thinking maybe it's, you know, precognition, or it's, you know, my instinct. Oh my God, something bad's going to happen. In the past, I would have procrastinated on that. I would have thought about it more. You know, I would have been trying to, you know, keeping my eye out all the time and feeling anxious, not shifting that anxiety. But this year, I thought about it and I thought, whoa, hang on a second. What if this isn't my anxiety? What if this is the guy next door? Or, you know, or the people across the hall? What if it's somebody in this building? What if it's their anxiety that I'm picking up on? I'm sensing it. Because the guy next door and the couple that was in there before them, it was with them that I noticed it. I always knew when they were arguing, not because they shouted, because they didn't. You didn't hear any shouting at all, but you'd hear thumps and, you know, like somebody falling over or being pushed over or something like that, and I could just, like, this sense of panic would set in, and then it would turn out that she was blind drunk and caused another argument. And they were having an argument, but they were doing it. They weren't shouting at each other. The guy that's there now, he's loud. He's always on the phone shouting at people, having a go, shouting with the landlord, getting angry, slamming shit. And I can sense it off him before he even starts, you know? So I think that I don't think I'm special in that regard. I think we've all got that ability. It's just whether or not you're aware of it.
Yeah, that's true. But also they got a lot of technology now to influence people, you know. Even here in Brazil, where people is really poor, there's lots of technology with the signals. They influence your head, you know. It's like certain frequencies they attach to us, and even though we're walking around, the signal is like glued to us, you know.
Yeah.
I've watched some videos about this Antiquitech, where it was like on top of the towers of the churches and all the old stuff, you know. They repurposed the technology and they kind of they modified it so it can be used to influence us negatively, you know. So it's like it gets more. So sometimes you have like a flow or a wave of something positive, and it's like it gets interrupted. Some kind of signal is distorted, and people just go crazy, you know.
Mm.
And it's like on purpose. They want it.
Have you caught up? Has it caught up with you, Fujin? Can you hear us all right, mate? Because you're not getting much up. You're not getting into chat. Let's see what the delay is.
Yeah, there's delay.
That's a massive delay, man. Voy, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm okay. The weather is horrible, but yeah, before I clicked on the link, you just said, "Oh, here's Fabio," and I was like, "Dude, I didn't even click on the link, but here's this other Fabio, right?" So, but he doesn't even have hair, but he's a Fabio. I mean, he's a real Fabio, you know.
Yeah, I got hair here.
It's pretty bad. But
It's like my hair, because of the thinking, I think too much, so my hair falls out, you know.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you, dude.
I don't care, man.
No.
It's like,
Hey, listen, I shaved mine. I've got a good head of hair. I've got a good hairline, but I shave it all off because it's just
don't like it.
it's just too much fucking trouble.
Yeah.
It's too much trouble. I can't be asked with it. I can't be asked with going out of the front door and thinking, oh God, no, I've got to do my hair because I've got bed hair, or you know, because it's all over. It pisses me off just to have to shave. You know, I don't want to have to groom myself like that because it just seems, I don't know,
Gay.
poncy. Yeah, really gay and poncy. Like men shouldn't groom themselves like that. But yeah, I wish I could grow my hair like yours, though. Boy.
No, we should. Men do groom themselves, and we should. It's not like you shouldn't spend hours in front of the mirror, but you know, you should. Well, half an hour, you know, maybe, or several minutes, or not at all. I mean, that's completely fine with me too. You know.
Yeah. I still wishing I got a full 45 years old. I still don't have a full face of stubble like yourself there, Fabio.
Fabio's got the good beard going on there, right? Like the good male.
Yeah,
like,
I shaved it. It used to be like really long, but I shaved it. It's too hot here, you know, so it keeps scratching my beard. It's not good. So I shaved it shorter. But I think like it's good for a man to have a beard. You know, I don't like this clean shave face. It's not good. It's too much like a boy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, it's like almost as if we have to be ashamed to be men. You know, this whole thing in the United States with these people, I don't get it, you know? It must be some sort of transmission as well for these people to go nuts like that with the whole gender change and the thing. That's so weird, you know?
What they've done is they've taken something.
Right? It's a transmission. Like you said, it must be some kind of transmission, but that transmission has been programmed for, you know, in many stages already for the last 100 years or more. So
yeah,
I mean, certainly for the last 40 years.
Yeah,
certainly. Like as long as you know, they first started they started creeping in with sexualization of children, and I mean it was very subtle. It was very subtle at first. It was, you know, when I was 7 years old, watching Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Right. I can't say I had the hots for, because my hormones hadn't kicked in yet. You know, it wasn't that, but I was.
But your gonads had lowered, you know, below your belly, you know. So,
but I had a crush on the one of the characters, a cartoon character. You know, there were cartoon characters that you'd be like, boy, man, if I was a cartoon, I'd totally get with her. You know, like Princess Jasmine in Aladdin, and Jessica Rabbit, and
Jessica Rabbit, yeah.
So they've been doing. They've always been doing
no,
it.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I was like, no, Richie, I don't get it. But when you said Jessica Rabbit, I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah.
And Jessica Rabbit was ridiculously overemphasized.
Yeah.
You know, her hips, her boobs, her lips were all ridiculous. And with Princess Jasmine in Aladdin, the same thing, overemphasized hips. And it wasn't her lips, it was her eyes, wasn't it? They made her eyes really big and beautiful. But if you actually saw a girl that looked like that, you'd be like, whoa, what planet do you come from? What's going on with your fucking eyes, girl?
I mean, I recognize, I would meet that kind of girl like in Amsterdam, you know, in that kind of neighborhood. Like, wow, you look very, very female. I'm like, oh, wow, you're probably not a female.
Listen,
Oh boy, are you from Holland?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born in Den Haag.
Oh, aha. So I hear the accent now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm now in Brazil.
Aha. So how do you like it there? How long have you been there?
10 years.
Cool. So.
Well, it's all right, you know, the culture is really different. But I was so sick of Holland, you know, with their rules and the whole manipulation thing.
Yeah.
So I packed my backpack and I went out and I just went to travel, you know. And after 6 years of travel, I came to Brazil, and I have 2 kids here.
Good for
you.
You.
You got a Brazilian girlfriend.
What?
You've got a Brazilian girlfriend?
Yeah, I got an ex-wife now, but now I have another girlfriend, you know, because she was not very.
You know, that kind of thing happens in Brazil, you know.
Yeah.
In my experience, right, of friends, because I lived in Portugal for 6 years before I came here, so there were a few Brazilians in Portugal because of the shared language. So you get Brazilians going to Portugal. Brazilian girls have a bit of a reputation, as far as I know, as they're beautiful, gorgeous, very, very sexy, sexual, very gorgeous girls, but you can't trust them for shit. And really, they're only after your money. If you've got a lot of cash, then they'll stick to you like glue. And if you don't, then they won't. They're very shallow and very materialistic. And it's all about aesthetic. You know, it's Brazilian girls. There's that Brazilian ass thing, isn't there? Where girls go out and they get their asses inflated with collagen to make it even bigger. And it's ridiculous. How do we get here anyway? How do we get here talking about Brazilian women?
Well, because he lives in Brazil, and he was his ex-wife and his new girlfriend, and then our minds got all into Brazilian women, and then you see boobs and booties, and that's how you got there.
Yeah, but it's like a large contrast here. You know, you have a side that's really religious, and people that don't mess with anything. You know, they don't even show. They keep like this. You know, they don't even show a bit of cleavage or anything. And then you have like the majority of the people that are just like all on the sexual thing. So it's a really big contrast.
Yeah. So there's, like you said, so there's this beach culture, if I can talk, name it that. And then there's so what percentage would that be? Like, is that like 80-20?
50-50? Girls.
California girls, right? I mean, so how much would that culture be? I think it differs, right? Whether you live in Rio or whether you live deep in forests.
As far as the chastity of the girls is concerned, I would imagine definitely. But, you know, but then it's the same with anywhere, really, isn't it? You go to the city, and people in the city are much more promiscuous and, you know, liberal.
It's I remember you know, when all my friends started to study, you know, and started to progress, when I just left school at 15 or 16, you know, and I just said, goodbye, guys, I'm just gonna work, okay? And I was in a good school, right? You know, a very well addressed school, you know, a real good school. And I had all the opportunities, and I met the right people with the right parents, with all the, and I was like, yeah, you know, still, you know, it's gonna take me too long to get there, you know. It just took me too long.
Abaixa esse som para nós, por favor.
See, this guy speaks Portuguese, dude.
Fala português.
Yeah.
Eu falo português. Os meus filhos estão brincando no outro quarto.
I tried learning 6 years in Portugal. I tried learning. The pronunciation of Brazilian Portuguese is different to the pronunciation in Portugal. I prefer Brazilian Portuguese. I much prefer Brazilian Portuguese because it's a lot prettier than the Portuguese, which sounds almost Romanian.
Yeah.
But dude, I can't remember any of it. And because I'm trying to learn Spanish now, it's pushed all the Portuguese. I had to, because I was accidentally speaking Portuguese in the beginning, so I pushed it all out of my brain to let the Spanish in, and it's gone. All I can remember is no falo português.
Dude, that's what happens when you don't entertain all languages. I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember that happening in my brain to, like, okay, you know, on the holidays, you try to speak this language, that language, and at a certain point you'll just have to decide, no, you know, 3 languages is enough. I'm not going to try the 4th and the 5th language, you know. We're just going to stop. And
that's true. I used to speak Spanish and Italian and French, but it's all gone now. The Portuguese just pulled it out of my brain.
Spanish,
so now it's only English and
Dutch,
German and Portuguese. Yeah. I'm gonna put on my headphones because I'm almost not able to hear anything you guys are saying. It's very difficult.
Okay. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be better, man.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, how weird is that I meet another Fabio, and he's also from Holland? I mean,
how fun is this? I didn't realize your name was Fabio.
No, I'm not Fabio, but people call me Fabio.
Because right, I see. Yeah, because of the hair.
Yeah,
Fabio.
Oi. I didn't understand anything you said. Yeah, now it's better.
That's better now. Good stuff.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, that's cool, man. I'm glad you can hear about that. And let me know if there's any echoing or anything, if I need to put my earphones on. I think it's
there's no echo. It's all fine.
So we've got you're still in Netherlands, aren't you? I think it's interesting, Fabio. You said you left like 10 years ago because of the draconian rules that were coming into the Netherlands.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. But then I suppose thinking about it, actually, I remember I left the UK in 2009. And when I went to go to Portugal, and when I got to Portugal, I was talking to people about Amsterdam. And it was back then that they started bringing in, like, you couldn't smoke in the cafes, you couldn't smoke cigarettes in the cafes, and they started clamping down on that. And I didn't think too much about it. I didn't think, oh God, no, there's a liberal government got in control, and they're gonna basically destroy the Netherlands.
Yeah.
But that's what this whole what we're dealing with now. I think it's just been the last couple of years. No, it hasn't, has it? It's been since 2001. It's been
Yeah.
since
Well,
since
no, it actually started before that. Fabio, do you remember? You might have remembered the VPRO with their motto "Stop de verloedering." You know, stop the
Yeah.
demise. You might remember that, right? I think it was mid '90s, and they actually perfectly said it at the point like, guys, now we're totally starting to demoralize, and I think this was somewhere mid '90s, maybe. Yeah, right. You remember that, Fabio, right?
Yeah. About that time. Yeah. But I
So
think
that's
what all has to do with the illusion of choice. If you can be happy if you have certain choices. Let's say you have 10 choices, and you can be happy that you made the right decision because they gave you those choices. But actually, what's going on is you have to choose. You are not free to not choose. You have to choose.
right.
So since some time, I try to put a new system in my brain that whenever someone offers me the choice, I decline it. I don't want it. You know, then I have my freedom. So I say no to whatever choice. I don't like to choose the less worst thing.
Hmm.
It's not that I can choose something good. I
Yeah,
have
the
to
less
choose
to
the less worst. Yes,
you're
yes,
not gonna choose. Yeah, yeah.
I
That's usually the trick that they play on you. Like you're still gonna choose evil. Yeah, but the lesser of two evils. No, it's evil. You know,
yeah,
you
it,
don't evil.
it's funny you say that as well because when I think about it, that's one of the things about being in a relationship, right? And so, oh, what do you want for dinner? Or what do you want to do tomorrow? Or what do you want, just choices that come up that get offered. And I hate it. It's not because I'm
It's like
indecisive.
it's like
It,
somebody asks you, like, what do you think about Trump going this do with this? And I would just answer them, well, I don't think about that. You know, now that you
yeah.
mention, not even now that you mention it, but and these people get so um, uh, demotivated for asking me anything in that manner. You know, so
Mm.
I think it works, Fabio. Does it work for you? Just not making the choice or confronting the
yeah.
people like, what are you doing? What are you presenting me with?
I almost don't have any contact with other people anymore because of my systems. They
Yeah,
all just ran away. They don't like it. They don't like a free person or a free thinking mind. They don't like it. So I'm getting outcast. I don't have any friends. I don't have family. It's like I have to be really strong for my little family, my inner circle, because I know that the system outside is wrong. It's corrupt,
Richie, have
you
you
know?
ever heard of this? And the people making their own choices and being outcast. This is
Yeah, but that's
This
how
is
it
what
works,
happens to all of us, though, isn't it? This is what happens
Yeah,
to all of us. Every single one of us can say the same thing, really.
yeah,
Um, I'm sure there are people that still maintain friendships and stuff and family relationships. There's still lots of people that are maintaining these family relationships, but in all honesty, it's only because they are not being themselves.
yeah,
Because if they were themselves 100%, their families would reject them, their friends would reject them, and they know that, so they keep it hidden. They keep it
yeah,
held back. And we never did.
that's true.
I never did. You clearly never did. It's like I've always had this philosophy, listeners, something needs to be fucking said. You've got to say it.
Yeah.
You can't not say it. It's, if there's an elephant in the room, I'm not, you want me to just ignore
I'm not.
that? No.
I'm not. If there's an elephant in the room and I'm gonna poke it in the ass, I'm not gonna file its nails. I don't. The
No,
goal.
and you're not
I
going to
mean,
skirt
but
around the edge of
if
it.
all the other people, all the other people in the room would see that there's an elephant, and the elephant, and the elephant would not feel disregarded, maybe we could start to do something about the whole elephant in the room thing. But yeah.
But it's like people, they want to believe in something that they have been programmed to believe, right? So it's a really painful path to let it all go. It was so painful. I had a long time where, Jesus, it was lots of suffering to see the people choosing to be slaves. That is very difficult to see when you see your sister, your parents, the people that you love, choosing to be slaves, choosing to be like food. They're like food, or better explain, maybe they're like the last piece of shit on the world, and they choose to be so. But I don't want that for me, not for my kids. So I have to choose a different path, which is more difficult. It's you have to lose everything, and sometimes you have to lose everything multiple times, like my sanity. Sometimes I think I'm going crazy. Maybe it's not the whole system, maybe it's just me. But when I talk to you guys and when I see some videos of certain creators, it gives me a good feeling, because I know, like, I feel that I know you. Without knowing you, I know you already, because we're on the same wavelength. Yeah. So it's good to see that there's people that have certain things in their hearts and minds that is similar to mine. Because if I just look around, these people are crazy. They think politics and money is so important. Everything is money. They sell everything just to get money. They don't have free will. They don't have actual freedom. There was a concept I was thinking about the other day. There's three types of freedom: freedom for, freedom from, and actual freedom. So, for example, you can have freedom to make music, or you can have freedom to not fight. Freedom from fighting. That's a positive and a negative way of thinking, like in every concept of the word, right? But then there's actual freedom that has no attachments. And that's the actual thing that we're looking for, And people, they don't want it. They don't care. They try to be as much as possible a prisoner of their...
You know why that is? Because they don't want the responsibility.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right? How can you be so vindictive if you don't want any responsibility? How does it work? That doesn't work in a mind. That's not a mind doing that,
I think what happens is when you relinquish that responsibility, you're relinquishing your control, your sovereignty, or whatever. So I don't want to have responsibility for that. You have responsibility for that, and I'll just okay. I'll do what you say I have to do, and you have responsibility.
Everything. So everything the other party does is because of us. So it's all because of us, because we are, or we say, or we. I mean, we are pretty silenced, by now, and so.
The thing is, like Fabio was saying about, they are so uncomfortable around free thinkers, around people that are able to think critically, and also particularly people that are able to hold more than one point of view at the same time, to be able to see something from both sides and agree with both sides on different, just be able to actually be truly objective, so, and play devil's advocate. So you're taking them. That terrifies them. They don't like that. Because they don't understand it, because they couldn't.
They envy it. They envy that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that it's envy. I think it's fear.
Yeah.
People, when they are afraid of something, they will accept the other thing much easier. So they from really childhood on, they program us to be afraid of everything. Why? Because then we can put in a box and we can pay our taxes and be good little sheep, right? If we don't have that fear, I don't have fear anymore, man. I even get goosebumps when I say it. I don't care. What can they do? They can kill me, right? But I know where I go. I can remember. The thing is, when you don't have the memory, what's your biggest fear? The fear of death. People get so stuck on living that they don't give a shit how they live as long as they live. But that's not correct, you know? So when you take the fear away, suddenly freedom comes in. Person gets the courage to actually live, to make the choice to not choose a wrong thing. Then suddenly they start to live. You see it in their eyes, you know? They start living. They start actually enjoying the humble, normal, simple things in life, truly, because suddenly it's a gift. But when people are afraid, they don't live. They just keep on focusing on what they're afraid of. So that's how I think. Yeah.
That's people that are afraid. They're either living in the future or in the past.
Yeah.
They're not living in the present. They're not it now in the now. They say, yeah, of course I'm here now. When else will I be? But you're not, because in your mind you're worrying about this thing in the future, or you're stressing about things that have happened in the past that we can't change.
Yeah.
You know, we can't do anything about it. We can't change the events, but we can absolutely change our perception of the events, how we allow those events to affect us individually. And that yeah, I mean, I made a video about it, didn't I? I said that history doesn't have to define you.
That's
Your
true.
history does not have to define you.
Yeah.
That's true. But I think a lot of it is in the programming of language, of meaning, of certain concepts that get so stuck in the brain or in the mind that people are unable to let it go. You know, it's glued to them. So with the whole thing with fear of death, they are so terrified of it. Now I can tell you, I died before, and I remember, and I lived before, and I also remember. So now I can I have pieces. It's like on a hard drive on a computer. It's like tiny little pieces of memory, and I try to put it all together like a big puzzle. Yeah. So I can see that it's not a timeline; it's a spiral. And I try to imagine how I can explain it to someone that doesn't want to hear it, and it's impossible. I tried with my wife; it's impossible.
That's not possible.
They want to keep on holding on to the fact that maybe there's a heaven or a hell later. You know, the heaven and hell is here; it's right now, and people choose some side of it. You know.
Yeah.
The thing is, the problem is what I've been seeing the governments and the deep state doing is they have machines it's like they put a blanket of frequencies over our natural frequencies, so it gets like distorted, and people just live it, you know, they live it, they think it's real, and it's not.
That's what this 5G has absolutely done. It's magnified their ability. It's increased their ability to affect people.
This might also account for the weird feelings that, I mean, sometimes I'm like, what do I feel? It's not like it's not the fact that I didn't have breakfast yet that I need to eat, right? It's not that. It's like this other feeling inside of me, like, what's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with me. So why do I feel wrong? I'm like, you know, and I feel that feeling I never had before, and I feel that this is some kind of feeling that's been induced on me.
I think it's ultra low frequencies.
Yeah,
they use for that. Ultra low frequencies are the ones that make you feel impending doom, you know, and
Something like that.
anxiety, and so
And
if you're
also,
living near a city, or
also reactions to things that I see, right? Because we see horrendous things. And then I feel this reaction in me like, oh, good, another one died. And I'm like, this is not something that I think.
yeah,
Why do I recognize this? Why do I recognize this simultaneous thought inside me when I don't think like that?
right.
It's
That
not me.
I've been battling, not battling, but I've spent the last 6 years policing my thoughts and trying to sift through which thoughts have come from me and which thoughts have come
Right.
maybe not from
Dude.
me. And
Right.
for a long time, I was thinking that every single negative thought or thought that led to anxiety or hatred or anything like that was not coming from me. It was coming from a cheeky monkey, right? A cheeky monkey that's known by many other names, right? But in this, like over this last year, I've sort of started to think that maybe it's not always cheeky monkeys. It's actually like they should do the shadow work, right? You've got to do the shadow work on your shadow. There's some really, really dark aspects to my personality that, you know, my ego, there's been events in my life, things that have happened that the person who I was at the time felt a very particular way about, was very wounded, wanted retribution, had all these thoughts of what it wanted, you know, what it wanted to do and everything. It's a version of me, an angry version of me. So it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be from a cheeky monkey. It's just like, oh, right, it's Dark Richie. All right, the one who wants to punish people.
Oh,
There's
Dark
an element.
Richie. Like Dark
Okay.
Richie is not a cheeky monkey. Dark Richie is the cheeky monkey.
Well, maybe Dark Richie is a cheeky monkey, but I mean, I've got this ongoing thing with with Lucifer. You know, I personally, I think that the entire story we've been told about Lucifer is completely skew with, and Lucifer is not what everybody thinks, and
A Lucifer in Dutch is just a match. It's just this is a Lucifer. This is what we call in Dutch. This is what we call a Lucifer.
yeah, a Lucifer.
Yeah, this is what we call in Dutch Lucifer. You know,
To light it up,
yeah,
to illuminate. So, I've lost my point.
It
But
contains sulfur and wood, and
there's parts of me that, you know, when I hear Justin Trudeau, when I will look at him, I look at his face when he's speaking, or Matt Hancock, or fucking Boris Johnson, or, you know, Rishi Sunak, or Chuck Schumer, or Adam Schiff. There's a part of me that wants to go berserker on them, you know.
Something to do with their neck. I don't know what, but it contains. I don't know what my fantasy is, but it's something with their neck, and it's going to last like 20 minutes. So
Bill Gates, Bill Gates, man.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt you, because I'm recognizing what you're saying, and that's because a very long time ago, and I see it in your face, Richie, that you struggled with the same things that I've struggled with, is because we're all one family, yeah? But we're not all brothers and sisters. So some of us are blood and some of us are not. And some of us live in double duality and some of us don't. So when you see their faces and you have a certain feeling of hatred or wanting to kill them, it's because they have been very bad to us for a long time. Yeah, this goes on for a concept that's but it's outside of time. It's cycles. Yeah. So you die, you come back, and you live it again. And they have memory, but we don't. They made a program so that we lose our memory, but you can get it back. Yeah. But it's difficult. It's very difficult, and it's very painful. And you have to cry your fucking eyes out, but it's possible. And then you can let it go. You can let it loose. You don't need to hate them. You don't need to love them. You don't need to believe in them. You can choose to let it go, you know?
You've gone a long way, Fabio. You've gone a long way because I recognize the road that you described, because I just want to say, I recognize what you said, and I've been through that in 1 year. You know? So
and you're gonna have to go through it again. You have to repeat it. And it's like, when I see these people, because they're not people, right? They have a certain different DNA. When you go inside the DNA, they have strands of certain codes that we don't have. We as people, I say. They're mixtures. So
but they are here with a mission. They are here with a mission, and we are here with a quest, and not so much a mission. But these people are here with a mission, and their mission, you know, primarily consists of blocking the quests that the other people have. That's more or less it. You know, it's just.
I mean, that's what I like about Jason Bashir's theory. So that makes us errants, and they're Agent Smiths, you know. They're part of the system, and they're protecting the system.
The last judge that I had in this ridiculous court case, his name was A.J. Smith. Okay, A.J. Smith. Okay, in Dutch. And I was like, okay, you know, just okay, you know, okay, fuck it, you know, that's enough, you know. That just totally blew me away.
But that's the thing of the Matrix, right? You can't smell it, you can't see it, you can't touch it, but it's all around you, right?
Yeah.
But now, if you stop believing in the Matrix, that's the first part, right? And then how can you be in the Matrix and outside of the Matrix at the same time? When I see the world, I see it in layers. It's 7 layers, okay? So it's like in various frequencies, you can observe what's going on around you. Now, when you don't believe in it anymore, it's like the layers get fainter. It doesn't have the same density, right? So you can get free. You look at the skies, you don't see the clouds. There's machines behind the clouds, but you can't see them. It's not like they're invisible. It's like there's a layer in front of it, and more layers and more layers. And it's like you have a certain distance, but there's no distance. It's all very close.
Fabio, can I say something real quick in between? Because these layers that you describe are not so much layers in physical reality, but they are blocked dimensions in our brain.
I say layers because of the English language. It's like you have to describe something.
Layers of frequency. It's just a way. It's a way to visualize, isn't it? But it's like frequencies overlaid over each other. We're only able to pick up this tiny little 3% frequency or whatever it is, 3% of the frequencies, and all these other layers outside of that.
That's a good reference to make in that.
The other thing that I wanted to say is, because you're a musician, right? I don't play music. I don't know how to. But when you talked about the low vibrations, it's not just the low vibration, because Earth itself has certain low vibrations, like the heartbeat of the Earth is very low.
7.93, 7.94.
But the thing is, when you put a frequency that's out of tune, so it doesn't follow the music, you know, it bothers us. It infects
technically
us.
440, like the 440 megahertz. Everything being shifted up slightly sharp. to the natural, to the like 432. It's like 0.8 of a hertz sharp, and and that's, I mean, I don't think I've listened to enough 432 music, but I've had a couple of people say to me that when I sit, it's like when I was saying, when I tune my guitar by ear, it's always ever so slightly flat, and I've never tested it, but I wonder if I'm pitch perfect to 432.
You're probably not. That's normal. But you can be. You can put yourself in tune. If you visualize like an old radio with like this button that you can turn, you can exactly choose your frequencies. Yeah. So you give yourself the tool in your head that I am a radio, or I am like a radio, and I will tune myself, finely tuned to the exact frequency that you want to be in tune with. And then you can see when you're, let's say, out of the flow, then you can see the people running around. They're on these different frequencies. They're out of tune. So then you can separate yourself from that, and you can see what's going on. It's like traffic, birds, cars, like everything around you has certain frequencies and certain rhythm, right? So when you fine tune yourself to this, then you can feel this natural thing coming, and then you're suddenly in tune with life, and things start to change, you know.
Yeah, you're describing the observer effect, right? And the truth effect, right? That this is also why papers are called the observer, and papers are called the truth, right? And they want to portray the observer effect, and they want to portray the truth. This is a very important phenomenon that you are describing.
But people, we are not aware of it so much, right? It just happens.
Well, you are, I am, so it's good talking to you. You know.
Yeah, but I remember when you said about being angry. I've struggled with it so much. I was so angry, right? I wanted to destroy everything because it wasn't correct. It wasn't right. Yeah. It was made, instead of made for us to live, it's killing us. So it's not just killing the planet, it's killing everything. So that's the main goal, is destruction. They want to take over. They have taken over many times. So I know, for example, my mission now here is to be a beacon. So every time that I have goosebumps, and every time that I feel truth coming through me, and I can give it away a little bit, it's not mine, you know, it's not mine to have. It just transmits through me. That's why I'm now in a place that's really dense and dark. Just só minutinho. Really dense and dark, so I can give that vibration, and then somehow it will change. I don't know how exactly, but things will change for the better. I hope so, right?
I feel your dedication, and and the darkness that dude, I know.
And it's funny that you said that. You said it's not mine. I give the truth away. It's not mine. That's exactly what I said in one of my first videos back in 2017, 2018, on my channel that got deleted, so it's not there anymore. But I was in my car, and I was saying to people, I was talking about, like, because the channel was really early. I was like, I'm not going to monetize my channel. I'm not interested in making money off of this. I was working at the time, and it's not my truth to sell to you. It's you know, it's not my truth. It's our truth. It's your truth, and you people, everybody. It's our story, man. Don't people want to know the true story about why we're here, and you know what we're supposed to be doing? Because we all know that what's going on now is wrong on every level. On every fucking level, it's wrong. Well, and until you get down into communities and stuff where you see people are actually, You know, there's good people out there. There's really good, beautiful, nice, generous, compassionate, kind people out there that help in their communities. These little beacons of light, you know. I watch Adrienne Elise, and she calls us supernova souls, and basically she said, similar to you, she says that we've all been, the reason we're so connected, the reason nothing washes with us, we can smell bullshit a mile off. We've got really good discernment for truth, and for people, we can read people, we can read situations. We're when I say plugged in, I don't mean plugged in like that. You know, we're plugged in spiritually to what's going on, and we feel connected. The reason for that is because every single incarnation, we've been doing the same thing. We've been the same. The consciousness has moved. Our consciousness, although we don't have a memory of it, and each time the ego is a different ego because it's a different avatar. So that avatar has its own ego, dependent on its surroundings, depending on how it's brought, you know, how you're brought up, what your parents are like, and all the influences on your life as you're growing up that build your ego. Then your spirit has to get in touch. You know, there has to be this connection. That's what I say is the consciousness, is the realizing that you have a soul, and that, you know, that there is that we were created, and there's a lot more to this story. And it can be in a religious way. I think that is a stepping stone. Being religiously, I mean, I was never religiously indoctrinated in this life, but I may have been in previous lives, you know. I did a past life regression thing where I was in the Vatican.
The thing is the problem we have is a number, right? How can a number be so big? How can we have been here so many times? It's such a big number. It seems unreal, right? But now if you look at the concept of infinity, there's no numbers. There's no beginning, no end. It's always. So we've been here,
It's too much for the human mind to really conceive it, or perceive it. Sorry, it's like there's no beginning. But what do you mean there's no beginning? Surely it doesn't it start at zero?
It starts at zero. Yeah, I have a nice formula for that. I got it tattooed, so I never forget.
0 equals 1.
Yeah. So when you go to the 0 point, it's like the black hole, you know. It's everything. So there's no time. It's just a perception of it. So when you go to that place, there's no beginning, no end. It never happened. It's always happening.
You can see why scientists needed to come up with and agree with and propagate this story of the Big Bang, because what that does is it illustrates that perfectly. Like, so you can't get past thinking that there's no beginning. So you have to create a beginning, and if it all goes back to this 0 point, where do you start at 0? That's the 0 point. It's everything. This 0 point is everything, and it's like, and then boom, here we are now. You know, however many these ridiculous numbers, millions of years, and that's why I like Jason Brashear's theory about, because it incorporates this reset theory, and I'm already totally on board with this idea that there have been resets, and they've either been natural and taken advantage of, or they've been instigated. But he's saying, you know, there's this 138-year cycle. Well, that makes even more sense. They know exactly then. They know the cycle. They know the cycles, so they know when they've got to do stuff. And then when you look back on the chronological timeline and what happens, it's like, huh? Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how that works? The last time there was a Phoenix event, there was some sort of pandemic thing going on.
Yeah,
And
it's a repeat. Yeah, but the thing, what I don't agree with,
but why
the
does
thing
it
that I
repeat
don't
itself?
agree with is that it's only the Phoenix event. There's multiple cycles. So you have the binary cycle, you have the Fibonacci cycle, which is the golden ratio. If you place those on a time spiral, yeah, so you have like a larger ring, a smaller ring, and your perception of that, so it's not a line, it's something, it's a curly string, okay?
It's a toroidal, it's almost like a toroidal spiral, isn't it?
Yes, but it's many toroids. Yeah, it's exactly that. It's difficult to visualize because we can't see it, right? But we can see it in nature. It's everywhere, right? So there's many ways of perceiving a certain thing re-happening. Yeah, so it comes back, but depending on how you look at it, it can be 138 years or 128 years or some fraction of it. It's actually happening every single second.
I think
a fractal of.
Yeah. But are we big or are we small?
No, so no, but that's relative per definition, So it doesn't really matter because you're gonna get you're gonna get everywhere if it's fractal. It doesn't matter if you're big or small. You're gonna be everything.
Yeah.
If you're traveling, at least if you're traveling, not if you stay in the same place, but if you're traveling or growing, the fractal, the growing fractal, so the crystallization is going to be a thing, whether it's inwards or outwards. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm being called for lunch. I have to go now.
No worries. No worries.
I'm sorry, right? But I really like the conversation. Thank you so much.
Me too.
And the next time we see each other again, all right?
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed it, man. I hope we do this again soon, Fabio.
Yeah, we will. We will. Thanks so much.
Brilliant, man.
Nice to meet you guys.
Enjoy your lunch, dude. Big love, man. One love.
See you later.
Enjoy.
Bye. Peace.
What was I going to say?
I don't know. It was great to meet the real Fabio.
Yeah, man.
It's weird that he's also from Holland, but
he's definitely on the same path, part of the same. I wonder. Is it? So Adrian Elise says that as supernova souls, we've all been doing pretty much the same thing every time. And what we agreed to do this time was spread ourselves out. So because of our connection, because of the fact that we're errants, we stand out. Whether we like it or not, we stand out. The Shining covered it. I think what was that other one? The other film where they talk about the shine, where the children have the shine.
Yeah.
What was it called? Not the Polar Express.
All these references.
But it's about this the shine. My whole life, I've had people telling me, different people, like my parents, my relatives, when I was younger, and then as I got older and I've had relationships, I've had more than one girlfriend in certain situations, certain when we're having a really intense moment or whatever, and they say, "Wow, that's crazy. Your eyes it's like they've got lights behind them. It's like there's lights behind my eyes and they're glowing or just really bright." And I just, it's the shine, man. It's just what it is, isn't it? It's because I got the truth inside me and it's fucking shining out. I can't keep it. That's why I can't keep my mouth shut. That's why I can't.
Yeah.
I can't just go along with this bullshit.
No, it's I know what you're saying, dude. It's I'm standing up to like enough is enough. Enough is enough. It's I can only take this much, and but these other people around us that are still in the system, still trying to work for us, they actually think that they are working for you and for me, Richie. Mind you, these people are doing their best, but they never been challenged. They've never been challenged, mind you. Like you said, I think you said it yourself. They still act like they're in school, right? They still act like they're in high school. That's their game. When you said that, I was like, yeah, I totally connect with that. With that what you said there, because it's what I've been saying. Like these people, they never actually had any challenge in their life. They just performed in school, and then they performed in college, and then maybe university or whatever. And after
They're
that,
extremely entitled.
Well, not
extremely
entitled. They just always were in rooms where they had to listen to somebody that had more points than or more credits than they did, and so therefore they did it because they're always in the same situation. In like there's a teacher and there's students, and if you're a student and you don't want to become the teacher or a teacher, then you're not a worthy student. It's like the cult of personality.
Well, I'm a very firm believer, though, in the saying, "Those that can do, those that can't teach."
I know, and I've heard that saying also when I was 12 years old, and I looked at my teachers like, wow. But it doesn't go for every teacher. It doesn't go for it. It's not like every teacher that teaches you, tries to teach you something.
There are some teachers that are really good, man. I remember I had a couple of good teachers at school.
Yeah, well, I had a lot of good teachers. I saw a lot of good teachers. So I recognize that too. I mean, it's not like every teacher is a useless prick at all. No, I don't see it like that. But then again, it's a cop out. It's a cop out a profession to do, right? Like you say, like those who can't teach.
I mean, my mum said if I didn't want to go into law or into medicine,
you can always become a teacher
or science. Why don't I become a teacher? She thinks I would have made a really good teacher. And I'm like, I don't have the patience to do. I don't want to have to show the way I learn. The way I've always learned is to watch somebody, to watch them and listen to them. If I see somebody doing something, I can normally work out how to do it myself. And so it's like, how do I teach that to somebody else? How do I teach? Well, just watch, then do. It's easy. You just watch what the person does, and then you imitate it. You try to do what they did, and if it doesn't work, you try again, and you know. And how do I teach somebody how to do that? Because not everybody can do that. That's the trouble. That's the thing. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody learns like that. Some people learn by reading books. Some people can memorize information.
Yeah.
You know, look at Jason Bashir's. Look at the amount of information that he's cataloged in his brain. The man is like a fucking walking hard drive.
Encyclopedia.
He's a walking hard drive of encyclopedias. Like he's like a fucking 10 terabyte walking hard drive, man. And the way he's able to access that information. Now, apparently you can train yourself to do that. And I've never done that. I've never trained myself to do that because I like to wing it, man. I like to wing it, you know? I like to do things in the moment. I really like to do things in the moment because it feels more natural.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I won't make a decision on something until the last minute, the last second, because then I know the one that feels right. You know, out of the, or if neither of them feel right at all, it's like, yeah, no, I'm going to stay clear of that one, thanks. But if there's an answer that is going to be right, I trust my instinct to tell me at the time that this one, you know.
Everything you just now said. Oh fuck! You know what I'm referring to, right? No, I'm not trying to. Can you play that moment again? Like you just made everyone dumber again. I need to listen to that one again. What's it called? Billy Madison. I don't want to say that about what you said, but I just want to hear that again.
Oh,
everything you just now said in your incoherent ramblings didn't make any sense whatsoever. I'm trying to memorize this, but it's too hard. I can't memorize it. And then it ends in like, you get no points, and make God have mercy.
Everyone is now dumber for having listened to you. I award you 0 points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
You can say it way better than I can. Yeah. No points. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're awarding me no points for what I just said. It didn't make any sense to you.
No, it did. It did. Like I said, you know, you can say way better than I can, you know, in my memory. I mean, the voice and the accent just convinces me, you know. A simple wrong would have done, though. I mean, but okay.
I'm just going to have a look in the comments here. See, we've got around. Pushkin Castle, hello Alex, how are you doing? Squirrel Sniper, Brian Evans, Barb, how you doing, Barb? Angel Wings, Alankua, huh? Alankua, huh? Is that right?
Yeah.
Alankua, huh? Welcome, man. And Sergeant Bun Bun, obviously, good to see you again, mate.
There's some new people coming around, right?
Yeah, there's a couple. Sergeant Bun Bun's quite recent, and Olon Kalaha. I don't recognise the name, so fairly new.
But I've also been noticing in the propositions that Google gives me and YouTube gives me, like, something changed. Like
new
like the
channels. New channels.
Yeah. Like, and I also noticed that the same thing has been going around. That's also why we see some new faces and some new names, right? This is something that I've been noticing for the last 2 months or something like that.
I think I've noticed it, but I think it's because I looked at one, and because I looked at one, they suggested some other things, and it was like, oh right, because I've got it to be relevant to my history, to the suggestions to be relevant to my history. So,
In the end, the AI algorithm must work also for you. You know, it cannot only work against you. Right?
there's definitely right, the algorithm, definitely they push stuff, and I think they push it to everybody. It's not just about what you've been watching. They'll try and push it to you anyway. But one of the things that I've noticed that I don't like, these big there's a couple of big YouTube channels that I do watch, and I quite like them. They're quite engaging people, and the things that they talk about. I've still got a soft spot for Megyn Kelly. Can't help it, man.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I remember when the whole transpocalypse happened, and everyone was saying, "Oh yeah, Megyn Kelly, she was a man." I'm just, I don't know, man. I can't see it. I can't see it. But and yeah, and Natalie Portman as well. They said Natalie Portman was a man. Well, do you know what? I watched V for Vendetta yesterday, and if Natalie Portman was a man, then I must. That, you know, I'm not. It doesn't change the fact that Natalie Portman's really cute, man. Really, really cute. Definitely my type. So,
Yeah.
well, no, there's not much that I could do about that. I'm not gonna deny it, because I'd be denying it to myself.
I mean, they can be I mean, they are here to fool you. So, I mean, if you get fooled, it's not so much about you. I mean, they try really hard. So, yeah. So,
The thing is, everybody's got different tastes, man. Like, there's people out there that find that they're called feeders, and they feed their girlfriend as much fatty food as possible to turn them into these huge, morbidly obese Stay Puff marshmallow women, you know, like ridiculously huge. And you got this little skinny little guy that is just really, it just really does it for them. They're like, yeah, I know, but you know, they got all the folds, they got all the flaps and folds, and some people like that, man. Some people really, and I think, well, fair play, because it'd really suck for those people if nobody ever found them attractive. If there was nobody on earth that would ever find them attractive, and that's not the case. That is not the case. That there is somebody for everyone. Everybody's got. Now, whether or not you both like each other, I don't know. That's different, isn't it? But fucking relationships, man. Have you got a woman? Have you got a lady? A girlfriend? Wife? Ex-wife? I can't remember.
no, of course not. No. Most of us are alone. I mean,
How long have you been alone, though?
well, I've dated this woman that I met by doing this online game. Just what's it called? Word Feud, right? And then that was like I don't know, 2018, but that was just like a short-lived flame, so to say. I mean, I can still phone her, and we still have a good time, you know. But it's not like something I would entertain or whatever. So that's not a serious relation. But no, I was never scared of a relation like 5 or 6 years or whatever. But that happened several times. But no.
I was like a serial monogamist. So
Yeah, me too. I mean, no, yeah, me too.
but there was never longer than 6 months between
I
relationships.
never cheated. I never cheated on any girl.
I cheated once. I did cheat once. I've talked about this before. It's because I had no respect for the girl. She lost my baby. She was going to abort it anyway, but she lost my baby because she'd already had 4 abortions, and she was going to abort this one.
Yeah,
It would have been a 5th abortion because she was using it like a like contraception. And yeah, we just had a really unhealthy relationship, and we spent a lot of time apart, and I cheated on her, she cheated on me. We cheated on each other basically. But that was the only relationship that I ever did that in, and it was because I wasn't in love with her. I didn't even love her. I was just too, I don't know, I was too, I always had this issue, like my biggest lesson in life to learn so far has been to let go of things. Like the hardest thing is letting go of something that you're crazy about.
I think you felt the need. Sorry,
I
because
couldn't
I'm
even
talking with my mouth full, but I think you felt the
let her
need.
go. Dude, I couldn't finish with her. I don't know why. It was just like, yeah, but you know.
You just felt the need to be. You could only be somebody if you have like a female next to you, right?
Yeah.
That's the only way to perform completeness in society, right?
Yeah, I definitely felt like I
That's part of it.
I was only like I was the best version of me when I was in a relationship. But I finished with my ex-girlfriend Bea from Spain. I finished with her in 2018, and then in 2000, and I went like a year, longer than a year, being single, and I met this girl in September 2019. She came out on holiday, and they came to my gigs every night they were there, and we ended up having this sort of 3-month relationship online. We all we did when she was here, like she told me on the last day when she was leaving, she told me that she really liked me, and she was just like, she said, "Guys, you don't pick up on any signals, do you? I really like you." I was like, "Oh shit, no way! I got it completely wrong. I really liked her, but I thought that she was actually in a relationship with the other girl that she was with." And they were in a relationship. They'd been in a relationship, but she was her ex. So she's on holiday with her ex, and the jealousy, right? I thought that she was because I was going off with her ex after the gig, going down to the beach and smoking a joint with her. But she didn't really, but this girl, Kirsty, didn't really smoke. And she was getting funny about it. And I thought she was getting funny because she was in a relationship with this girl that I was going down with. But it turned out it's because she liked me, and she thought that her ex was trying to muscle in there. Anyway, we ended up having a really crazy, intense internet relationship. And then when I realized how strongly I felt, I had all these crazy thoughts. I was like having these crazy, imagining these really intense, crazy situations, like having children and, starting a business together and moving in and all of these things. And I realized, and I was like, whoa, dickhead, no, you have to let this one go now. You have to finish this relationship. There was no reason to finish it. There was no reason to end it. It's just, I suddenly got this feeling where I realized just how much I was pinning on this relationship, like how much of myself I was pinning on this relationship, how much of my heart I was giving to it. And I said, no. We spoke, and I said, look, I think we need to end this. We can't do this. This isn't realistic. I'm really sorry. Please don't contact me again. She'd booked a holiday to come out in the February. This was beginning of December. And in the February, she'd booked a holiday to come out and see me again. And I said, listen, if you're going to come out in February, just do me a favor. Don't come and see me. Just come and enjoy a holiday in Tenerife and just stay away from my gigs, please. And then I forgot, and I put her out of my mind. I let her go. I like cut the ties emotionally and let her go. And then in February, I get a message from her saying, have you still got a fat lip? Can I come and see you? I'm here. And my heart dropped into my stomach in that moment. And I was like, no, don't come and see me. I don't want to see you. And she still came. She still came to the gig. And I finished the gig. And afterwards, she dragged me outside and punched me and had a go at me. And then we spent 3 days together. And it was fucking amazing. It was really weird, man. It was like, and then when she left again, I was completely cool with it. I was like, okay, see you later. Maybe I'll see you again. Maybe I won't. But my heart wasn't going with her. Well, you know, I still really, I knew that I could detach myself emotionally, and if we were to, you know, see each other again, it would just be instant like it was before again, you know. And I was just, yeah, it was like this reward, you know, like I felt like I'd passed, because I'd finished the relationship with Bayer. Bayer was a relationship where I loved her, but I wasn't in love with her anymore. Well, I was never really in love with her, but I was like, I couldn't end it. I just couldn't seem to end. We finished almost every week. We split up almost every week for about a year, man. We were just, it was like a broken record. Our relationship was a broken record. Every week kept repeating itself. At the end of on the Friday night, we split up with each other. And then on the Sunday, Saturday and Sunday, when we woke up, like on the Saturday, it was like everything reset back to the beginning again. And we just started all again.
That's not a girlfriend. We call that a mistress.
So it was like, I realized, and I said, this is my test, isn't it? I've got to finish this relationship. I've only ever ended one relationship in my life, and I didn't care about her, and I'd found somebody else. So it was like, yeah, see you later, found something new. So this time it was like I had to finish with her and be single. And it probably took me a year to do it. But I did it. But then afterwards I realized, yeah, but Rich, you weren't crazy in love with her. You know? You would have actually preferred it that she'd split up with you, and you would have been cool with it if that had happened. But so it doesn't, it's letting go, but it's not the true letting go. You have to let go of somebody that you're crazy about. And then I met Kirsty like the following year and was crazy about her, like really crazy about her. She's so gorgeous, man. She's only like 23 years old.
You have loved, been loved, are loved. I like that. That's what Olankel say. Olankel
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've ever been loved the way that I want to be loved.
Well,
know?
I mean, that's something to aim for then, right? I mean, that's something to live for. Oh, you know, oh, no. That's not how I want to react to that. If you expect something, first expect to be frustrated, because expectations lead to frustration. So if you expect to be loved,
It leads to disappointment. Expectation leads to disappointment.
That's a better way of saying it.
Yeah, it's true. And it's funny, that was demonstrated to me in a relationship I had. Like when I left I was married, and when I left her, the next relationship I got into, the best thing about the girl was she had no expectations of me. And that's what I like. That drove me crazy about like in a good I was like,
your ego needs expectations. Yeah,
like,
your
just
ego needs
no
expectations.
But then, like when we made it official on Facebook, when the relationship became official, and we decided that we were gonna like move to a new country, to a different country, move to Portugal, to a new country, and try and start a life there, all that changed. Then the expectations started getting
really?
Yeah, and then she ended up finishing with me because I wasn't earning 100 grand a year. I had no chance of earning 100 grand a year within the next 5 years. And she wanted to have children. Well, she didn't. She absolutely didn't want to have children, but now she did. And maybe if she did want to have children, if she wanted to have children with me, how could she have children with me? Because we'd never be able to put them through private school because I wasn't earning 100 grand a year. The thing is, the ironic thing is, I was busting my ass to become this high earner that she wanted. And in 18 months, I went from 12 grand a year to 60 grand a year in 18 months. But she'd finished with me about 3 months before I got a pay rise. I was on like 24 grand a year, and then I got this new position earning 60 grand a year with commission, but I was on uncapped commission. So yeah, I managed to get to 60 grand a year, but I wasn't at 100 anyway. So she still would have finished with me anyway. But it all became, she was very materialistic, you know.
Oh, you know, it's how they are programmed. Most women are programmed that way, so you can hardly blame them.
Well, it's certainly how our generations have been programmed. Absolutely, our generations have been programmed to be, you know,
and not only programmed, also incentivized and subsidized. You know, it doesn't. It doesn't.
And in certain circumstances, coerced.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't leave much more options open. You know, you got to be real strong to decide to go the other way as a woman alone, so to say, right? Or as a woman with a man too. I mean, yeah, but it's so easy to step away if the system will provide you, you know, with just you don't need justice if you're a woman. If you're a woman, we're just gonna tell you that you're right. You know, if you're fighting against the man, we're just gonna tell you in court that the woman wins. That's just usually how it is.
Well, the funny thing is, everything that's going on now with the certain agendas, like feminism and the LGBTQ thing is actually so many people can't see it that they are directly attacking the feminine by doing it. They're attacking both gender. They're attacking male and feminine. They're trying to.
I mean, everything is under attack, Richie. It's not only that. It's also the children, and it's also the elderly people, and it's also culture is under attack, and also nature is under attack.
They need to get rid of the elderly people because the elderly people have memories.
Yeah.
And they need to attack the young people because the young people will have memories. You know, they need to get in there and indoctrinate.
They will have dreams. I mean,
the future is the children.
Yeah.
Always will be the children. So
no,
but think that would be. Sorry, do you think that would be an inspiring enough banner to get the whole world behind? Wouldn't you? I don't have children. I don't have my own children, but that doesn't mean that I don't see the importance and. You know, and I might have I've got a different perspective to a parent, but particularly parents. That should be an inspiring enough banner to protect the children.
Yeah.
To get everybody behind it. The trouble is,
it's not.
People just aren't. It's what's that guy? Yuri Bezmenov. Said about no, not Yuri Bezmenov. He was it Yuri Bezmenov or was he the one from the KGB guy? The KGB guy that talked about the demoralization of society and what happens after that.
It takes usually 2 to 3 10 generations, and then the process is complete. And we are pretty much already done with the use of AI. It's already taking place, as you can see, because we are already 2 generations on the way.
And we're in that exact spot.
It's the third generation.
We're in that exact moment in time where you can show somebody point blank, like, so you can show people videos that Hunter Biden's taken himself.
Yeah.
Of himself weighing up crack cocaine off his head with prostitutes, with small children, doing all kinds of really, really bad stuff. And they just don't, it's like they don't see it. They refuse to look at it. They won't. No, it's Russian disinformation. It's but okay. What would you think? It's it's deep fake. Must be a deep fake.
Yeah, right. They will tell you. They will tell you can fake everything these days, and
because you can.
But you can. I mean,
but
I'm glad that they know that much. But I know, and you can tell them too. Like, you only say this when I bring on a video. You never say this about your own videos. So, I mean, they also bring videos to you to convince you. And they never tell you, like, well, this might be fake. But every time you bring on a video or a proof, they will tell you anything can be faked. Why do you fall for this? And you would look at them like, well, who would make money doing this? Nobody's making money lying. That makes sense. I mean, we know how the world works. But making money with, nobody gains anything by telling the truth. So nobody gains anything.
The problem is that the waters have been muddied, so they always knew.
Yeah,
they always knew that we were going to get to a point where information was becoming people were becoming conscious of information, and as the veil lifts, and more people just naturally are waking up because the frequencies have changed. Because of where we are in the cycle of time, and the veil lifts, truth starts coming out naturally. Things that are buried, nothing that's buried will remain hidden. And it's true with anybody, everybody has to agree. Like the deepest, darkest secrets always come out in the end. Nothing stays buried, and it's a fact with if you bury something, it
will come up.
It will come up. It won't.
That's why they lay a stone upon it, right? So it doesn't come up. Yeah.
So yeah, I've lost my train of thought.
Well, you about burying something, about hiding something, about hiding the truth. It will always come out. That's how you got there.
Yeah, so they muddied the water. They knew it was going to happen, so they muddied the water. And the problem is, like, Alex Jones was coming out and saying the most ridiculous things in the early 2000s and 90s, early 2000s. The things that he said back then, and like, and and David Icke as well. The things that they said back then, the things that David Icke was saying in 1994.
Say, I'm Jesus Christ. I'm just sitting here in my trainer's outfit,
Right.
And
yeah, in my shell suit. But the thing is, now I think about it, I understand what he was saying when he said that. I understand what he meant.
Yeah.
It comes across to everybody as well. But I've even said it on my channel. It's on the deleted channel, so it's probably gone. It might be on Odyssey, where I sat there in my car and said, listen, I don't want to be that guy, right? I don't want to be that guy, but I didn't actually say I am Jesus Christ, but I said, like, we are the same as, essentially. We're the same as Jesus. We need to think about Jesus more of as a brother than as a different entity, a God, just a complete God, completely separate from us, holds all the power, and and all that relates to this. I think just this inner knowing that it's about the Christ rising. So Jesus Christ, it's a story about a man who was the Christ, the Messiah. And the story saying basically that there will come a time where that same spirit can and will rise within you if you allow it in, if you let that spirit in. So the Christ within, the Christ consciousness rising within people, and that's that I think that people get really triggered by any words that are associated with religion, but that's all about perception. That's because of narratives associated with words that create preconceived ideas, and that's how they've tricked us the whole fucking time with language, doing that with words, with associated narratives and descriptions with words that define the word. It defines it. It stops it from being it stops it from accurately describing something.
Yeah, that's what they do, and they trick you not only with words, but beyond that with reactions. Like you said, you're gonna have to make. Well, we give you like 10 choices. Well, I don't even want to make a choice. Well, that's not allowed. You have to make a choice. We have all flavors for you. Well, I don't want to taste anything. No, that's not allowed.
It's like menus, isn't it? Right? Menus. When you go into a restaurant and you see the menu and it's like, yeah, but I don't know if I actually want any of those things. What I want, really, I want something different. Maybe a bit of that and a bit of that, would you like? And you ask them, like, could you cook me up some places will do it, but other places won't. They will only serve what's on the fucking menu. that you want to be able to make your choice unique. You don't want to choose the same thing that everybody else is choosing.
Oh, well, I know this restaurant that really has this super fine choice menu, though. You know, there is good restaurants. You know, you can just take the chart and say, well, I want that. And, you know, it's going to be awesome. There is these restaurants. They are good.
Oh, man, I haven't eaten in a restaurant in years.
It's been a while, right? Yeah.
Years. Oh, no, to be fair, actually, when I went to see my old boss, I don't know if I told anybody this, but I went and had a meeting with my old boss because he contacted me. And I was like, oh, right. And he said, come into work and talk to me. So I went in thinking, he could be, maybe he's going to offer me some work. He's obviously, he's getting let down, and he needs to be able to put somebody in that he can rely on. And he knows how good I am. He knows that I always pull anybody in that's walking past comes in. Unless they've obviously got a table booked somewhere else. And if that happens, they come back the next night. The amount of nights where people were being turned away or having to go away because there weren't enough tables for them. And those people all stood out on the path listening to me for like, just stood there for half an hour listening to me. So I went and he gave me lunch. He gave me lasagna. I had a lasagna. Awesome. And he sat there and said, yeah, maybe I can give you some, you know, I can't bring you back. Obviously I can't bring you back full time because, as it was before.
No, but he was like, he could see like you and him working together, and you know, you be meaningful to him and he'd be meaningful to you, right?
But dude, it only took from sitting in the restaurant to just as he was going to drop me off at home, because he offered me a lift home, just going to drop me off at home, and he just switched. It was like he got new orders. You know, it's almost like, you know, when you're talking to somebody and their eyes glaze over, and you know, like when you talk to somebody about Mandela effect and they're agreeing with you, and then suddenly their eyes kind of glaze over a little bit and they go, oh, no, actually, no, I remember now. No, you're wrong. I remember it like this. That never happened. And you're like, wow, you just got a download like right in front of me. You just got downloaded with the new protocol and you've accepted it. And that's what kind of happened with him. We were driving back and he just kind of, I sensed it. I actually knew exactly when he was going to say it, just as he started to speak, like, or just before he spoke. I was like, he's going to tell me he can't. He's changed his mind. And that's exactly what happened. He was like, oh, actually, yeah, thinking about it. Yeah, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. Sorry, mate. I can't. I'm like, wow, that was interesting. But I swear he got a download while we were driving. He got a download saying no. Like his heart, he wanted to help me out. His heart, he wanted to help me out, but he's fully jabbed. He's fully jabbed.
Well, yeah. You know, it's not that hard to believe. I mean, it's, if you look at this world, we are being projected here. I mean, you and I think that we making a choice and everything, you know, but we are being projected here. This is not my belief, or this is not the way I see things, but I'm just entertaining this thought. Because if you take a picture of an aura of somebody that lost his leg, you know, his leg will still be there in the aura picture, you know, the Kirlian photography. So how,
same with plants, isn't it? Same with plants.
Yeah.
They've shown where they cut off bit parts of the plant, but when they show with that camera, that special camera, it's still there. The outline, the aura of it is still there.
So why the plant is not projecting this? So something else from the outside seems to project that. So it's very hard to conceive. That's why I'm putting it out. But
I think because it
makes
right,
sense in one way.
Because when we say projector, a projector we think about a light. It's projecting light. Well, we are light, aren't we? And we're light beings inside. Like our souls are meant to be really bright. That we've got the shine. We are light. That's why we can be recognized by the system, because we, and they do their best to douse down and dim that light. They don't want us shining like that. But we're like it's like, is the physical thing an actual physical thing, or is it really purely electrical signals?
That is the question, right?
I like to believe that actually it really is physical. This really is physical, and yes, it really is electrical signals. That's how we can feel, because of electrical signals, going through our nerves and everything. That's because we need to be able to feel. Maybe we tried it. Maybe we tried one iteration where we couldn't feel, and we just ended up damaging the vessel because,
Well, when you say whether it's physical or electrical or imaginatory, they do not necessarily exclude each other, as being a model or a reason for existence. It can be either electrical and physical. I mean, they don't exclude each other. It's not like, oh, if this is true, then that cannot be true. Rather, if this is true, then the other thing must be true too. It's like that. It's like it's hardly ever black or white. Usually it's
yeah, exactly. It's not.
What I'm saying?
Left or right. It's not red
it's
or
not
blue,
like whether
or
it's
black
only
or white.
physical or spiritual. It's way more than just that dielectric thing that we are proposed with. It's not black or white. It's a rainbow. But we always are presented with black and white. But once we experience it, if we really experience it, it's never black and white. It's always a lot of shades. It can be any color. Yeah. So it's never the way. The world will never provide us with the words that we need to explain reality. We have to come up with our own terms and terminology. Like we had to rediscover flat Earth. Just how that's such a fine example of that.
But then that as well is such a fine example of how people always need to label things.
Yeah.
To say, they stick labels on things, and then that is basically that's the reason we've all been so indoctrinated and so taken away from the truth, from true reality, because they've labeled everything. They've seen how much we like to label everything, so they've labeled everything and then encouraged us to put our own labels on everything, and then attached all these narratives to all these labels and these words with narratives attached to these labels that all cause, basically it's all about the weaponization of language to weaponize us against each other. and against ourselves. We're weaponized against ourselves and each other. And this whole being triggered. Yeah. We're just.
Yeah, well, if you're not strong enough, you're going to be weaponized against yourself. Yeah. Against yourself. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was weaponized against myself quite successfully for. I didn't really I woke up in 2013, but in 2013 I was still my own worst enemy. In 2016, that's when I recognized my sovereignty.
Yeah.
And that's when I stopped listening to every thought in my head and stopped torturing myself.
Yeah.
Because I'd spent 16 years torturing myself, emotionally and mentally. Are you making coffee or something?
Yeah, I'm cooking, and I'm also running the oven. I will go on mute.
Oh no, you're all right. It's not that. I'm thinking actually I want a cup of coffee.
I was thinking about making coffee, and I just forgot about it. But yeah,
I've got some coffee left in my percolator, so I'm gonna add some milk and heat it up quickly on the stove. So while I'm doing that, I will.
What are you gonna play?
Put a video on.
I've got the munchies. I'm baking bacon, and I'm having the oven.
No, don't, dude, don't. I don't. I'm not trying to make anybody feel sorry for me or anything, but I don't have any food. I haven't actually eaten anything since.
But I do feel sorry for you, dude. I mean, that's not a good place to be in, though.
Dude, at the end of the day, you could argue that really it's my choice, because I could say, do you know what? I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to quit drinking coffee. And I'm going to spend that money on food. Instead of spending, it costs for 2 things of milk and 2 things of condensed milk and coffee. That's 10 euros. So I could spend 10 euros on food for 2 days.
But you bought tobacco.
But the thing is that 10 euros, the coffee and the condensed milk will keep me going for longer than 2 days. So if I run out of that, I eat the food in the 2 days, and then on the third, and then because I've eaten for 2 days, on the third day, that means I'm really hungry, but I don't have any coffee with condensed milk to calm the hunger pains. So I just have to then go hungry until I can afford to buy some. What I'm saying is the coffee and condensed milk goes a lot fucking further than food does.
It does. Hey, but even I go hungry too. Sometimes I just have all the food and all the beer and everything I like, and I just don't eat, don't drink for a day or for 2 days, and I feel hungry, and I just feel, I'm just not gonna eat. I'm just not gonna eat.
That's good. That's abstinence.
And it's because it's not because I made the decision, but because I listen to my body or so. I don't know what it is. It's like
I listen to my, I do. I try and listen to my body. But hey, I'm a really stubborn fucker, and I'm like, listen, if it was my fault that I was in this situation, then maybe I'd feel differently about it. And in a way, it's my fault because I could have sorted out, if I'd sorted out all my paperwork in the second year of being here, then I wouldn't have these issues. But I didn't vote for Brexit because I didn't vote. But like, I still, even Brexit, I was like, yeah, do you know what? This is going to really fucking screw me, but it's the best thing for the UK. And it didn't matter. Like they said, oh yeah, it's okay if you've, you know, as long as you've been here before December 2020. Fact is, whoever or whatever it is that is able to influence things in our lives, and we end up saying, all right, clearly I am a fucking targeted individual. When something works one way for, you know, 1,000 other people, and then when you go and do it, and you're no different to those 1,000 other people. In fact, in a way, like 500 of those people had only been here for 2 months. I've been here for 7 years. Yeah. So I should be in a better position, you know, but not. Oh no.
No, it works like that.
No, you can't prove that you've been here. What do you mean I can't fucking prove that I've been here? I've got a social security number. I went and applied for a Spanish driving license, which still hasn't arrived. They still haven't given it to me. Like, because you're meant to change I had a British driving license, so I had to change it for a Spanish one. My driving license actually got stolen. But I had a thing from the police and everything. So I went to the Trafico and I applied for a license, and they said, yeah, it's all basically, it's just a quick flick.
Yeah.
They just give me a Spanish license, and then they didn't. But I was still drove around for a couple of years with just the paperwork that they'd given me. So anytime I got stopped by the police, like, where's your license? I'm like, my license got stolen, but here you go. And I'm on the Spanish system with a Spanish license. But no, can't prove that you lived there. No, yeah, obviously. I sent my license in from the UK. That's what I did. I posted while I was living in the UK, I posted my license. I just applied to Tenerife for a driving license while I was still living in the UK. Yeah, that's what happened.
Well, let me tell you that my father, as long as he lived in the Netherlands, he never had any driver's license, and he just kept on driving.
Dude, there was a time in Spain. There was a time in Spain in the 80s.
He didn't pay any taxes either. He was just like, fuck you guys. And at the time, I didn't respect him for it because, you know, it would get him into trouble sometimes, but not all the times. You know, I mean, he got around. It's not like we suffered for those choices.
But now you get it.
But now I get it. Like, dude, like, my father rocked. Right. My father rocked, dude. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I'm just going to jump in the chat room. Gumby Bear. Dude, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. And Red Eye Jedi as well, mate. How you doing, mate?
Hey,
do you want, I'll put the...
Yeah, somebody jump on. Did you see the stream that I did yesterday? Or part of it, maybe?
I haven't watched it yet, no.
It was 8 hours long. It was 8 hours long, so I can't ask you to watch it again. But yeah, it was, dude. Like all kind of new people clicked the link, and all kind of young guys and new guys. Awesome! It was awesome. You know, sometimes this streaming thing is so great.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
Right. Listen, I'm just going to put the link in the chat room. If anybody else wants to join, I'm just going to put a video on. I'm going to make some coffee. All right.
make some coffee because I got some too.
Hey,
I got myself some coffee too.
I just need to heat mine up. I need to go and heat it up on the stove. Right. See you all soon.
Yeah, this is gonna be a bit mad, like the way I've written it and that. Do you know where we go from here? Do you know where we go from here? I got no idea. It just feels like we're going round in circles. Tell me, do you feel the same? And nothing seems to change. I know they say patience is a virtue. I just wanna turn the page. Are we living in a cage? This world got me feeling like a germ. What's the aim of the game? How'd I stay in my lane when progression moves slower than the turn? Where we go from here, I got no idea. It just feels like we're going round in circles. Tell me, do you feel the same? And nothing seems to change. I know they say patience is a virtue. I just wanna turn the page. Are we living in a cage? This world got me feeling like a germ. What's the aim of the game? How'd I stay in my lane when progression moves slower than the turn? Where'd we go from here? Do you know where we go from here? Do you know? Is the question. I'm just looking for directions. Let's say the blind leads the blind, but what's the use of your eyes if everywhere you look there's deception, designed to warp your perception? The lies get applauded, but the truth gets an awkward reception. Critical thought is a weapon, or that's how it feels when you're caught in possession. Won't be a good slave, ignore the oppression. Got fire in your soul, they call it aggression. They even want us in the morgue or detention, form of depression or distorted connections. Turn your daughter into a whore with infections. Got your son thinking drug lords is profession. The ones enforcing the laws never mention. Judges watching child porn with a morbid obsession. Probably snorting wrong before the court is in session. Where'd we go? Where'd we go from here? Do you know where we go from here? Sick of living in a war zone like it's Baghdad. My ex threw everything I owned in a black bag. I broke a phone, she spat in my bowl like I'd have that. I grabbed her by the throat and I spat back, trying to type a postcode into the sack now, but had nowhere else to go, so I scratched that and just sat there, looking up at the sky with a blank stare. There's no solid foundations, just stand here. Noisy neighbors, racists and shanks here. Limitations, masons and tanks here. Starvation and slaves to the bank here. I feel skanked here. No. Where we go from here, I got no idea. It just feels like we're going round in circles. Tell me, do you feel the same? And nothing seems to change. I know they say patience is a virtue. I just wanna turn the page. Are we living in a cage? This world got me feeling like a germ. What's the aim of the game? How'd I stay in my lane when progression moves slower than the turn? Where we go from here, I got no idea. It just feels like we're going round in circles. Tell me, do you feel the same? And nothing seems to change. I know they say patience is a virtue. I just wanna turn the page. Are we living in a cage? This world got me feeling like a germ. What's the aim of the game? How'd I stay in my lane when progression moves slower than the turn? All this going round in circles makes me nauseous. Is this the Matrix? Cause if you're Morpheus, I'll leave now and meet you at the coordinates. I refuse to be subordinate or an ornament. While there's a war on the poor and less fortunate, the black mortality rates are disproportionate, competing with each other like it was a tournament. While the elite are eating popcorn in the audience, the promises the politician makes are fraudulent. Still we wait for a glorious metamorphosis. Will the underdog ever be victorious? I'm just curious. Where'd we go from here? I got no idea. Do you know where we go from here? Where we go from here? I got no idea. If you see me at the crossroads, can you help me? Cause I'm feeling kinda lost, bro. They say I must grow. Where it's colder than Moscow, I kinda feel at home where my ops roam. If you see me at the crossroads, can you help me? Cause I'm feeling kinda lost, bro. They say I must grow. Where it's colder than Moscow, I kinda feel at home where my ops roam. Do you know where we go from here? I got no idea. I just feel like we're going round in circles. Tell me, do you feel the same? That nothing seems to change. I know they say patience is a virtue. I just wanna turn the page. Are we living in a cage? This world's got me feeling like a germ. What's the aim of the game? How'd I stay in my lane when progression moves slower than a turn? Where we go from here, I got no idea. I just feel like we're going around in circles. Tell me, do you feel the same? And nothing seems to change. I know they say patience is a virtue. I just wanna turn a page. We're living in a cage. This world got me feeling like a germ. What's the aim of the game? How'd I stay in my lane when progression moves slower than a turtle? Progression moves slower than a turtle. Yeah, man. You know? Just thinking out loud, man. Red pill trill. Where we go from here, man? Someone give me a map or something, man.
Oh my god, I forgot how much it sucks to be around everybody. I think I'm gonna be sick all over Kyle. Fuck you!
Got him. We all have to quarantine together for 2 weeks. You don't want to infect your families, do you? You were all exposed to a student here who was taken to the hospital due to COVID. Yes.
We were there, and Token was actually taken to the hospital because you guys shot him.
Yes, due to COVID. If it weren't for COVID, all the previous teachers would have still been here, we wouldn't have been in the class, and nobody would have gotten shot. It was COVID related.
That doesn't make any sense.
Mass vaccinations, depopulation, denomination. These fees follow Satan. Save me, this is modern day slavery. They really wanna chip and pin my baby. The mark of the beast, scriptures from the Bible. They follow fake prophets and worship false idols. The rich still profit, the mass is suicidal. The future ain't promised, we fight for survival. ID 2020, Agenda 21. They ain't care, they just out here fooling anyone. We ain't scared, they ain't out here fooling everyone. It's do or die and I'll be there when that setting come. The sheep still sleep, the rich still eat. The rise of the beast from the Middle East. Free Palestine, find Madeline. Do your research, the truth ain't advertised. Now pedos order pizza just to have a slice. And they ain't stopped there, they wanna add a side. The truth's so clear when you analyze how COVID got the whole world paralyzed.
It is not coronavirus, it is something worse. It is domination, it is control, it is dictatorship.
People in their homes, feeling all alone. Depopulation scriptures written on the Georgia stone. Drones in the sky, the all-seeing eye. Corona ain't killing, it's just more suicides. COVID had a pattern, they knew before it happened. They're using it to use us and keep us all trapped in cashless society. Cashless to silence me. Control the masses with the cash, that's the irony. We really must have lost our mind. How can 1% govern 99? Celeb puppets turning a blind eye. Mainstream media spreading their white lies. Who really knocked the towers down? Who really killed Diana? Epstein and Savile was a royal dilemma. Crabs in the barrel drag you down when you get up. Everybody sick and fed up. Everybody pissed with the setup. The media incite terror, and we just wanna live life better. Birds of a feather, two wings of the same bird working together.
It is all done under the cover of a virus. And I am a medical doctor, and I resigned, I quit my work I just got nauseous by finding out how corrupt the system is. I have studied medicine to help people, and I have always been looking for the best. And what I now find out is that I am trained to work for a system that keeps people dependent, dumb, and sick. And this is a crime. This is a serious crime.
do, everything you think, everything you say. We decide who your friends will be, where you go to school, who you marry, how many kids you will have, and the car you will drive, and at what speed. We will make you work for money, and tell you how you spend it, and modify your seeds. We will make you hate the ones you love, family, friends, and yourself. We will monitor your each and every move, pollute your air and water to weaken your health. We will turn you against each other to control any unrest. We will sell you drugs and put you in jail for buying them. We know what's best. What you hear and see, whether your bank gives back your money, if you'll be the next president or prime minister, if you'll be free or a prisoner. We decide when you go out, where, how long, how often. We work you to death and charge you for your coffee.
Boom, we're back. How you doing?
Hypnotic trance kind of tunes. You always get these fresh tunes and fresh videos to show, dude. Excellent.
This, I mean, these ones are actually they're from the much earlier this year or last year. No, from last year, I think. Because it was all they were original songs being written during lockdowns and stuff. You know, there's that Ben Hunter. I like his stuff. Ben Hunter guy. Jedi is the guy that did
the remix.
Where Do We Go? That one. That was Red Eye Jedi. He's down Speaker's Corner all the time.
Oh, he's Red Eye Jedi. He did that song.
No, not Red Eye Jedi.
Oh.
Red Eye Jedi's
okay.
in the chat. No, he's Jedi.
Okay.
But his what's he called? His band name is Red Pill Trill. That's his sort of artist name, is Red Pill Trill. Barb, I saw a comment. Where was it? Richie, what do you think on energy projection in chats, like the feelings trying to be pushed on you type of thing? I think that definitely happens. Unwittingly, unwittingly in most cases, people are ignorant to the amount of energy that they are putting out themselves. I know I'm definitely like, I if I'm feeling something, that energy comes out. So I do it. And I don't, it's not an intentional thing. It's just where that person is at that, where they are in their energy. Now, what we should do is be conscious. And I do. So when I'm feeling like my energy isn't good, it's not good energy for people, or it's too much, I stay away.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I stay on my own. I stay away. I don't go into chat rooms. I might still watch things, but I don't go in the chat rooms. I don't, I've not been in my own group, Magic Treehouse. I've not actually been in there for a little while. Just because, not because anything's wrong. It's just the energy that I'm feeling because of circumstances and everything, So it's like, it's just better I just keep that to myself. But not everybody can or does.
But I think that the comment the commenter made was also about bots or intruders, so to say, right? Because sometimes this amazes me, being in the flat Earth game for 7-8 years now. That people still actually react to the most stupid questions that will come into into chat rooms of staunched flat earthers, so to say. Like, you're not gonna come there with a real question like, "Oh, I don't know how this real flat Earth works," and literally everybody in chat falls for it, and I'm like, guys, come on, guys. And now everybody just keeps on reacting. No, it's not a. And I was like, this guy must be laughing his ass off on the other side, because everybody is taking the bait. Literally everybody. I said, guys, come on. And I could just extinguish him, because I had the wrench. And I was like, guys, come on. You're taking this. But this just went on for an hour, maybe half an hour, an hour. And I was like, I was so disappointed by my flat earthers on YouTube. Like, come on, guys. You actually fall for this.
Dude, I had enough of that. I had enough of being involved with or contributing in any way really to that community, because it really pissed me off. As soon as it became clear and very evident that that they'd weaponized the label Flat Earth, and it became a trigger, and then when you realize, when I realized for myself that hey, maybe it's flat, but we don't know what shape it is. We don't know how big it is. We don't know what the extremities of it are. We've got no idea. And we've got no way of finding out either. So that just says to me that it just doesn't matter, man. For us to exist, we have to be on a level field. We have to be on a geometrically level plane.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, imagine it, if we have to spend our entire lives dealing with a incline like that, all the time. Stand upright, but everything else is like this.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. You can't build, You can't build cities in mountains.
No.
You need a level playing field. And that's all that. So instead of defining it and saying it's a flat Earth, I just say, well, it's not a globe. It's not the model that they tell us, and it's observably flat. It's an observably flat realm with no measurable curvature anywhere, which says common sense says that as far as the eye can see, it's a level playing field.
Yeah.
Apart from the relief, there's relief there. There's mountains and ditches and ravines, but it's all set on a plane. It's confirmed by NASA, by aerospace, by the RAF, by the American Air Force.
That people debate it, you know, it's data.
It's confirmed in all of their training manuals.
Yeah.
You basically have to treat the Earth as a geometrically level plane.
Yeah.
With no curvature at all, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know? No, well, we live on a globe, but basically for the instruments, you just have to pretend that it's flat.
So that's the only way it works. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's how silly it is.
So, you know, it's like, wow, whoa, labels, that's the problem. The label flat Earth. Okay, well, it's just not a globe. And like the flat Earth debate, as far as I'm concerned, there is no fucking debate. End of story. There's no measurable curvature anywhere on Earth, which means it's not the model that they tell us it is. That's all I care about. Yeah. I only care about the lie, proving that the lie is a lie, because who knows what the truth is? Who fucking knows what the truth is? Like, maybe they do, but I don't think they do fully, because why deny it? So,
well, you know, in this world, it's hard to know the truth, because when you uncover one lie, you next thing you run into is the next lie that you have to uncover.
Well, you have to tell.
We never find the truth. All the truthers find is lies. You know, that seems to be the only truth around, that it's all a lie. The actual truth we don't even get to find.
But how ironic is it, right? I remember growing up, it was a big part of, you know, growing up and learning, was that dishonesty will get you nowhere in the end. And honesty is always the best policy. It was drummed into me. Honesty is always the best policy. The fables and whatever about liars. The boy who cried wolf. You know, the fact that when you tell one lie, you end up inevitably, you have to tell another lie to cover the first lie.
Yep.
And then you'll end up having to tell an even bigger lie to cover those two lies. And it just builds and gets bigger and bigger. The fact that you can't, right? One of my relationships, we split up because I destroyed the trust, because I lied to her. But what I lied to her about was actually really silly, and I really didn't need to. It was a stupid thing, right? But I just didn't want to get in fucking trouble with her because, you know, because of weed. It was about weed, right? And hiding away some money for weed, and forgetting that I'd hidden that money away. And then when she found it, totally deny it, saying, look, and like when she found it, and I suddenly realized, I was like, shit. But I just carried on with the lies, and no, I didn't know. And anyway, it ended up that she said, she was basically saying, look, if you lie to me about that, what else are you going to lie to me about? And I'm like, whoa, hang on a second. Just because I'd tell a fib about 20 euros that was, you know, stashed away doesn't mean that I would then obviously go and do something really bad, you know, like
Right. Yeah.
really
But you know,
betray. I'm not going to betray you.
how do you say,
because-
like faith comes to you on foot, but it leaves you on a horse, right? On a horseback. How do you say that?
Trust, yeah, trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing is, we'd been together for like about 18 months, and I'd never lied to her. I hadn't lied to her about anything, and she really appreciated it. You know, she was like, I was the most honest man that she knew. So then when I'd lied about that, it destroyed her whole image of me. You know,
Yeah.
the image she put me on a pedestal as this desperately honest guy, but none of us is perfect. None of us is perfect. Not one of us is perfect.
No, we're not.
We fuck up, man. We make mistakes. We do stupid things. We say silly things. We don't say things.
No, but we grow, though. I mean,
yeah. That's the idea, isn't it? That you make that mistake and you don't make it again.
Yeah.
So, God, 3:20, 3 hours 20 minutes. We should probably wrap up because I don't know how much I've used of my 20 hours. But it's going to be.
You gotta be careful because I used up all my hours.
I've been streaming for like 4 hours at a time, haven't I? So, mind you, a couple of those streams. If I run out on StreamYard, I've always got OBS. It just means I can't have people on.
Yeah, but it's a good thing to be able to stream, though.
Well, that's
all I need to do is just how do you say, create another Gmail account, and I will have some more streaming. But it's good to limit myself. I'm going to limit myself. You know, it's gonna be okay.
Oh, do you mean do another free account for StreamYard? So
yeah, or I could just donate the 20 euros, or what is it? You know,
50. It's 50 euros or maybe that's for 100 hours recording.
No,
time.
50 euros is the professional one, but you can also then you can stream to like
3,
10 or 20 locations. But
that was the one that me and Roxy had.
Yeah, but that would make sense if you have that many channels to provide to, or that many platforms to provide to. But I don't, so I can just do with the 20 euros a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that either. Yeah.
There's a way to do it on OBS. There is a way, but it's difficult and different for iOS, for Mac. So if I had a Microsoft, it'd just be simple, and I could stream to multiple platforms using OBS. But and I would also be able to have guests on my on the stream as well. But because I haven't worked out how to do it on the Mac. The downloads don't work, and I don't know how to do it. So, have we got any chat? Timber Traveller, Barb, India, Brian Evans, Gumby Bear, Martin Haley, Jimmy James, Sergeant Bun Bun, Pushkin,
Timber Traveller.
Yeah, Timber Traveller, except Timber Traveller's name is weird.
He's clearly from Australia.
How did but temperature? It didn't always used to be like that.
How do you
Is
do
it the
that?
same?
I can tell you. How was it again? How do you do that? I know how to do it. Give me a second.
Thank you very much, Martin. Oh, Timber Traveller, man. Take it easy. Be safe. You're gonna have an awesome time, man. Out there in the wilderness. Time to get really, really connected, really grounded.
You can have to ask me another time, but there's just this this trick in your browser that you can use for those kind of antics, so to say, for the turn around letters, upside down letters.
Oh right, yeah.
But I forget at the moment. Yeah.
Throwing loops at trolls to flip my name. Huh. Search atolate size letters. It makes it a bitch for anyone trying to tag you, though, doesn't it? It can't tag you when you do that.
Only if you copy it.
Yeah.
Hey, so okay, Rich. I'm gonna go ahead and make myself some tea.
You gotta get some food, man.
Yeah. And thanks for
I'll
being here, and it was a good convo. And hope to see you in the next one, dude.
Yeah, man. I'll probably be back on tomorrow.
Cool.
I need to beg people for contributions still. So take it easy, people. Thank you very much for being here. Please do share with anybody that you think might appreciate the conversations. And if anybody does know a philanthropic, benevolent, wealthy millionaire who might be able to help me out, could you please put them in touch? Leafy. All right there, mate. Do you want to jump on before I close down? Want to jump on before I close down, or should we call it a day and I'll shut up shop and I'll see you guys tomorrow? I'm just waiting for an answer. There's obviously a big delay. Tomorrow. All right, mate. Yeah, nice one. Make sure you do, dude. I want to catch up. Or give me a shout on Signal or something beforehand. Or I'd like to catch up. And yeah, thank you very much, peoples. I'll find a good video to play out on. Here we go. I'll see you all tomorrow, peeps.
The night is yours alone.
Thank you very much. Ari.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. The farther you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me, you can decide to turn your face away. No matter, 'cause there's something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. The more you refuse to hear my voice, the louder I will sing. You hide behind walls of Jericho, our lies will come tumbling. Deny my place and time, you squander wealth that's mine. My light will shine so brightly it will blind you, 'cause there's something inside so strong, so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, there's something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. Brothers and sisters, when they insist we're just not good enough, but we know better. Just look them in the eyes and say, we're gonna do it anyway. Gonna do it anyway. Something inside so strong, and I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. All that